Train like an athlete. You know, it's in the words that we tell ourselves that really get you going, you know? I mean, think about it. Before I get into this, if you're stressed out, some people, they just say, I'm stressed, and boom, their energy drops right out of them. And they're walking around like this, stressed out. And they're mad at the world, right? But if you say something and you change it, you catch your vocabulary, and you start saying, let me swap out I'm stressed out with I'm upset. Maybe that's so simple to you. Or maybe I'm bummed, you know? So now if you take on a new vocabulary with it, that meaning doesn't have the emotional anchor, the stimuli, if you will, in that word. So if you say, I'm bummed. Oh, you know, I didn't fall over and get mad at the world, right? So it's the same way with what we tell ourselves. Instead of saying, I'm going to go hit the gym, and then you start unprocessing all the stuff you got to do there. I got to drive to the gym, and I got to go, and I got to wait for a machine. Then some guy's going to be getting off this machine. He's going to leave the back all sweaty. You know, I don't know. And you're trying to wipe that off. You know, you start unfolding that. But if you start saying, you know what, it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to stop me. And I put train like an athlete. And that's what I wanted to do. I'm like, I needed to rebuild my body because, you know, I wanted to get stronger. I wanted to do some different things with it because I've, you know, half my life, almost all my life, been eating destructively and unhealthy. And I said, let me start doing some stuff to take control of my life, my health. So I said, I need to train like an athlete. And I use this with clients too. You take an alcoholic or a drug addict, and you put them in this environment, say, you know, what is your life about? Back to our thing. And then you say, I had this happen where you say, you're going to train like an athlete. What are you? And you're an athlete. What are you? You're an athlete. What do you do? I train. Like what? Like an athlete. That person isn't going to be thinking all day about his drugs or his alcohol. They're going to be thinking about, what does an athlete do? He serves his community. What does an athlete do? He's a role model. What does an athlete do? He trains. He don't have time for that junk. He don't have time to put that in his system. He's too busy working out. He's too busy flushing out the system. So train like an athlete. You don't have to be that extreme. But even with this, we're about balance here, finding balance. You want to train like an athlete. So you can write that down. Mind, body, spirit, or mind, body, soul, whatever works for you. This is the formula right here that if you want to get a physically fit body, this is what over a decade of my research, I've finally arrived at what I think works. And it does work for me, and it's worked for a lot of my friends, even my clients. It all depends on where you want to go. That's what's great about this. It's not one way. It's what works for you. Walking, running, yoga, meditation, all of those is your workout. Who knows 5-minute abs? Who's got a 10-minute bun workout or a 30-minute cardio? I don't know what that is. 45 minutes, if not 2 hours. Whoa, 2 hours. Where do you get the time? I know, but listen, 45 minutes working out, 12-minute warm-up. Then you start your 45-minute workout. Then you do a 12-minute cool down. Now, you can do this in several ways. Because I started thinking about this. I'm like, no one's going to do that, especially if they're not into training like an athlete or into working out. Athletes train a lot. Shan knows that. Shan, they train almost all day, every day of the week almost, right? Yeah, they're really into it, right? But honestly, what you want to do to really get the balance, start off walking. That's your 12-minute warm-up. And then do running or, you know, lifting weights, whatever works for you, 45 minutes of that. And then finish off with walking or meditation. You want to cool down, right? Yoga's good because here's what I found out. I started doing some of these crazy DVD workouts because I want to, you know, I like that. Yeah, you know, start doing all this crazy stuff like, you know, P90X or Insanity. Love the stuff. The new Asylum. Oh, my gosh. I did Insanity. It's a 6-day program. I did it 3 times, okay? Then I kind of got bored with it, but I loved it. And I tried to jump in Asylum. Can't even get through the training part. The first 10 minutes of it. But that's the thing. I'm not going to push myself too hard where I get into physical stress, emotional stress. But what I'm going to do is I figured out if I start my workout and I start doing my 45 minutes, if I do yoga, you want to do your 45 minutes, your 12-minute cool warm-up, your 45-minute workout, and then do a 30-minute yoga. That's like almost like your 12-minute cool down, but it's 30 minutes. You're going to push all that lactic acid out of your system. Robert Young is a friend of mine on Facebook that I'm really close with now. He wrote the book, pH Miracle. Another good resource you want to check out. I told him, I said, listen, I'm doing this workout. How is it good for the body? And I just want to know, alkaline-wise. He says, if you're doing yoga afterwards, that's great. You're pushing all that lactic acid out of your muscles, out of the joints. You're getting it out of there. So that's what I do now. I do my workout, and then I do yoga. Then I meditate. How many of you guys meditate? Anybody? Okay. 2 people meditate. Anybody tried meditation? Try it now. How many people do prayer? Okay, good. How many people sit and read books? Okay. Anybody just sit in silence, stare at the wall? Anybody? Okay. This is really, really important. Taking time to yourself every single day, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, to meditate, do prayer, read a book, something just to give your mind a break, give your life a break, and just say, I love this part of my life. You know? You see people that say, I don't have the time. But I always like moms, they're like, little Billy's got soccer, I don't have time. Okay, you don't have time to work out? You don't have time to, okay. And then the following week or month, they go, little Billy's got soccer and he's got a baseball game. How'd you get the whole extra training in there? How'd you get that whole extra time? Now all of a sudden you got time. Because they want to give to their kids, that's great, but also give to yourself too. Because if you're not going strong, your family looks up to you, your husband or wife looks up to you, they need you. So if you're not working on you, you're not helping the relationship or the relationship with others. So work out, sweat. Write that down, sweat. That's all you need to focus on. If you're not sweating when you're being active, you're not getting rid of toxins. That's the whole point of working out for me, is to get rid of toxins. You want to sweat it out. You want a puddle dripping beneath you. You got to mop up, okay? You want to sweat, okay? So that's why you got to do the 45 minutes. You want to sweat it out. And we're coming to the end here. Celebrate your life. How many people celebrate their life? Anybody? Once a year, maybe? Yeah. Once a year? Okay. Okay, yeah. How many people celebrate their life every day? I can't really even raise my hand, but that's okay. Yeah, got it right there. Okay. No, honestly, though, there's ways of celebrating. And I actually do. I celebrate my life every day because what I do is before I go to sleep, I'll run my life backwards in my mind. That whole day, not my whole life because I would never go to sleep. My whole day, I'll run it backwards from that moment all the way up until when I woke up that day. So, and then the thing I'm celebrating in my mind, like, wow, I did that. Or even if it's a bad, what we call a bad day, if you have a bad day, I'm thinking, you know what, but I grew from that. I learned from that. Like now tomorrow, I'm not going to be so pissed off when I drive down the road. Okay. Because when you do that, you dissolve the issue. So the next day you wake up refreshed and you're like, got a new day. Because how many of you guys have dragged last week, last month into tomorrow or into today? Anybody? Yeah. I've done this. I do it a lot. Even knowing these tools, I do this stuff. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't. There's days when I'm like, wait a minute, I wrote a book though. I should read my book, right? Okay. And I'll go back and I'll read it. I'm like, I wrote that? No, I didn't write that. I go to my wife, babe, I wrote this. I didn't know that, because we forget things, and that's why we got to take notes. We got to model people and do the things we want. Celebrate your life. If you're someone who's on a diet and you're starting to get on your way of life, if your way of life now is let's just say no chocolate cake or sugars. Oh, I know we all like chocolate, right? Yeah, I'm afraid to raise your hand. Okay. No, chocolate though. Say you use chocolate cake. Well, if you did, 6 days out of your week, you ate healthy, and then you're with your friends on a Sunday or a Friday night, and you can't control what's going on in that environment, As long as you've been balanced, it's about balance. Go ahead and have that chocolate cake. I tell my clients, go ahead. If you're, you're on this weight program, go ahead and have that cake. It's not going to, you're not going to blow up, like if it doesn't agree with you, you're going to know right off the bat. But if you're training and you're getting healthy, you're going to be okay. So celebrate your life. That's really important. And last but not least, this is the last one, but not least. Think the way you want to live, and then live the way you think. And I'll leave this up here. I want you to write that down because this is important. If we can think the way we want to live, and we start living the way we think, our life's going to change. We're going to start to redefine our life. And if you take all the pieces of the puzzle I've gave you tonight, all these tools, you're going to start to really redefine your life. And one more thing, I want you guys to practice this. This is really important to all of us, even to me, and that is your life is so incredible. Please try to share as much love as you can to as many people as you can from here on out. When you see them, the world needs more nicer, happier people. And what I mean by that is people need to stop facing their ego every day, and they need to get rid of that, facing their problems and their bills. They need to get rid of that stress. And it takes us to do that. Someone give you a smile, it can just be a smile. It's someone who's got I hate my life. You just give them a smile. And they might be like, what are you smiling about? But later that's going to reflect back into them. They're going to start to feel good. So reflect that energy out. Your true nature is to be happy and humble by default. So spread love. Thank you so much, guys, for having me here. I look forward to connecting with you guys really soon here after the event. Thank you so much. And here is my good friend, Shan Stratton, with some incredible information that will really help you get that healthy body.